of the world, we have got to embrace green skills. Then what is green skill? It's far beyond what we are talking about. It's the fact that we need to sustain the environment that we live in. Many of us, we are polluted. What we do is polluting the environment. What is then is the way forward. You would agree with me that the technical department in Yaba College of Technology, in collaboration with the Center for Education, that is Entrepreneurship Development, are working tirelessly and indefatigably to ensure that entrepreneurial skills that can sustain the economy are imbibed into students so as to allow for the sustainability of our economy. Then what do we have to say about the fact that many of us who are students here will learn about entrepreneurial skills that could change our perception? But the reality is, are people truly interested to want to go into green skills? She said something the other time that government policies are not encouraging. But the big question is, let's ask our youth that are they truly prepared for green skill economy? Many of us, we are always laying emphasis on the fact that we want better jobs, we want a better life, we want to become better at what we do. But nothing will change from within if it has not changed from without. There is something we need to lay emphasis on, and that is the reorientation of our psychology. Because when we build our manpower, it changes our perception, and we come to see of the fact that the world is currently under threat. Threat of what? Carbon monoxide emission that has affected the ecosystem. Carbon monoxide extinction that is affecting us. You would agree with me that the rate at which the sun sets in the 90s is different from what we are today. This implies that the ecosystem has been destroyed by you and I. Then what is the way forward? We have got to embrace the green skill so as to be able to sustain our economy. The reality is, the International Labour Organization indicated that over 7.5 million people across the world are without jobs. Do you know why? Many of us are waiting for that opportunity where government will give us white-collar jobs. But the reality is, there are very few jobs available that we could use to sustain our economy. So we have got to embrace the green skills. Government policies would help to alleviate poverty. We need to reorientate ourselves in ways and manners so as to ensure that the economy of the country is stratified towards entrepreneurial skill. And that is what, if you look at the SDG goal of the UNESCO, you would agree with me that it focuses across all things. Transportation, economy, all sorts, agriculture. But how many of us are truly ready for this revolution? We have got to look beyond the political revolution and now put it into cognizance, the economic revolution, by embracing the green skill. Many of us are students, we eat, we drink pure water, we drink table water, we fling all those materials all around. Do we know the psychological and environmental effect such things portend a great danger on us? We have got to embrace the green skill. It is only the lifestyle that can be projected for a better economy. The reality is, many of us are shouting for 2015 that we want a better country, but nothing will change in Nigeria until we demand our human effort. Thank you, and God bless.
Well, Mr. Oluwole Adedigba has been able to make his point in 4 minutes and 17 seconds with an overrun. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So we're just going to collate the results at the moment. Thank you very much for your wonderful pitches. Can we give them a round of applause, please?
Hey. This community is in need of a skill that will boost our nation and give our youth a vision to dream big and fly high. Whoa, 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 whoa. We all need to embrace this skill to make us independent. And this skill survive. This world only care what you have to provide. It is you to improvise. No matter what you do, you are the device. Let's give hope. Let's give hope. Let's give hope. Can I hear you say say?
Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken.
This community is in need of rescue. Thou boost our nation and give our youth a vision. This world only care what you have to provide. We need you to improvise. No matter what you do, you are the device. Yes, please go there. Yeah, you say,
Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken,
yes,
can't squeeze broken.
can I hear you say now?
Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken.
Can I hear you say now?
Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken.
Can I hear you say?
Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken. I want the people ready to get squeezed today. Come on. Can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken, can't squeeze broken.
I hope you all got the message. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Five-star music, Dr. Amira, Casey. Talk and do. I know the time for talk and do. Come on, talk and do. Hey, talk and do. I know the time for talk and do. Give me dollar, tell you my lover, anything you wanna, for you my best. Give me dollar, tell you my lover, anything you wanna, for you my best. Talk and do. I know the time for talk and do. ṣe bí ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ o, àwọn ọmọ ti ká bọ̀dì o, má lọ lálá kíkó o.
Àwa jayé Màlábì, jayé káyé àkárí, àwo orí o, tó bá ṣẹlẹ̀ àwọn tèmi mà, àwa sọ́bọ̀nù o, àwa rọ́gẹ̀dù o, àwa lọ́mbẹ́rí fún jàgbóró bí ti rọ́gẹ̀dù o, ẹ bá mi rédí star, ẹ fún mi ní jombo, mo fẹ́ ra kálákó, mo ti bá máa kọ́ra kó, òkèlè mẹ́nu bẹ́ẹ̀, àwa là ń jẹun bẹ́ẹ̀, tàbí dé rọ́bì play, àwa lọ́wọ́ tó ń sọ.
Bóyá tóbi mọ́mí wo, bóyá tóbi dájì wo, bóyá tóbi olówó wo, má lọ tóbi olóṣù wo, ọlọ́wọ́ àgbòrò wo, ọlọ́tí mi sàgbòrò wo, àti mọ́ àmọ́rè.
Allah wá sáré sáré kíá 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 mọ́tà wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ kíá mọ́tà wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́ kíá mọ́tà wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́rẹ́. You can only run, past the region when you run back. I'm gonna be wah. Try one day, let's get the territory. They must run When I step into the club, the girls they see me holla my name. Why some people hate you? Why me jubilate? They see me when we pop the champagne. Oh yeah, because I'm the one that was. This is everything we know.
Hello, a round of applause for everybody, please. You can see display of skills in different forms.
I want to quickly recognize the presence of the Lagos State Youth Service Corps, National Youth Service Corps Coordinator, ably represented by Mrs. Rachel Idawo, Assistant Director, Head Skill Acquisition and Entrepreneurship Development Branch. Please, if you are here, stand up for recognition, please. Mrs. Rachel Idawo. Is she here? You're welcome, madam. I also want to quickly recognize the presence of the Director Acti, Dr. Okewole, ably represented by Mr. Sadiq. Please, if you are here, you're welcome, sir. Mr. Issa.
Thank you, the PR. I am made to understand that the presentation of awards for the winners in the debate session will be done later in the course of this program. May I invite the State Director NYC to come forward and sit beside Madam. Yes, Madam, please come. The Deputy Director at ACAD said you should come and sit beside her here. And we really appreciate the presence of you and your core members, releasing them for this occasion. A round of applause for her, please. Thank you. The panelists, the panel of judges for the debate program, for the debate session had completed their program. Please, let's give them a round of applause, please, as they leave. The next item on the program of events is the panel session. The panel session, and we have them here. The panelists are here, led by our one and only Ibilola Amao. She's going to be the moderator for this panel session. So, madam, yes, we want to start now so that we can quickly leave. Dr. Ibilola Amao holds a degree in sociology and anthropology from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and a PhD in sociology from University of Lagos. A senior lecturer. No, I'm sorry, I'm reading differently. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. This is for Abilola Amao. Dr. Abilola Amao is the principal consultant of Lo Nadak Incorporated, an international company, 2015 certified company. Deploys engineering and IT services and energy, power, infrastructure, oil and gas sectors. Madam Ibelola is a first-class alumnus of Queen Mary College, West of London, and from Bradford University and Manchester Business School. Following her passion for youth development and commitment to change, she initiated the Vision 2020 Youth Empowerment and Restoration Initiative in May 2006. The website is there for you to confirm. And on this, she has impacted on over 85,000 lives. She also set up a STEM hub to empower professionals and entrepreneurs. She is a recipient of several accolades and honors, including iWork, Vital Forces, Growth, VV1000, and GAP 2017 Fellow Awards. Meet our moderator for today's panel discussion, Dr. Ibilola Amao. You're welcome. Dr. Franca Atto is one of our discussants for today. Dr. Franca Atto holds a BSc in Sociology and Anthropology from Musuka and a PhD for someone to climb up that academic ladder, pursuance of academic career to a PhD level in Sociology and Anthropology from University of Lagos. Presently, she's a senior lecturer in the Department of Sociology, University of Lagos. She is a specialist in irregular migration, crime and delinquency, political sociology, sociology of the family, social change, and African people and culture. She's a laureate, a recipient of Laureate Award of the Ford Foundation and Codestria in Dakar, Senegal, in West Africa here. And she's an alumnus of Codestria Gender Institute and a fellow of the Institute of Security, Nigeria. Dr. Atto, a member of the team constituted by the Austin Institute of the University of Texas that collaborated with the Vatican to research on the global decline in Christian marriage between 2015 and 2017. Meet Dr. Franca Atto, one of the panelists for today. She's going to talk to us on green governance and gender equality. My brother from another mother, Mr. Akinfatunke, is here with us. He's been useful and ever been useful. He's going to talk to us on green jobs and sustainable lifestyle. Mr. Akin is CEO of Chronicler as an associate, a communication company, and a managing partner of Akinfatunke and Co., another company but a chartered accountant company, and a man to the core of this western part of Nigeria, received his economic degree from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, in the years past when some of us were not born, and an alumnus of Lagos Business School, Advanced Management Program, and as a professional, he has won numerous awards and recognition, including J.F. Kennedy Jr. Essay Scholar, and is the past president of the AMP 22 class. Before he started his own firm, he worked at Mobil Oil Nigeria and held several key posts, including manager, public and government affairs, when he voluntarily retired and faced his own skill in year 2016. Akin E. Fatuke is one of our panelists here. Welcome one of our panelists for this occasion, Mr. Akin Fatuke. A round of applause, please. He's coming over. Mr. Akin Adaju, are you the one representing? Oh, okay. I think we have...
I have just been told that Mrs. Ejiro Amos Taferi is around. Ejiro is a distinguished alumnus. She is one of our own. She was born in the vibrant city of Lagos. Is she joining the panelists? Okay, but let me just read a little profile about her so that you know. She is one of our own. She is an alumnus of this great institution. She is a fashionista. And her work has been exhibited both home and abroad. You are welcome, madam. Is this sir?
May we now invite the panelists for those discussions. The monitor is there, and let us be attentive so that we can gain and learn from these erudite scholars. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen,
What is the meaning of love? The meaning of
please pardon my yes, I have the name here the other time. Mr. Shegun Adaju is ably represented here by Mr. Sukanmi Olowo, an executive director of Consistent Energy Limited. Can you please come over to the panel session? And he's going to talk to us on carbon footprint, renewable energy. Yes. Renewable energy and resource efficiency. Mr. Olowo is a degree holder in botany from the University of Ilorin, Nigeria, and an MBA in marketing from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. Wow. You can see a man of many faces. A botany, by first degree, by another, a marketer, and by another, a chartered accountant. Can you give a round of applause, please? And an associate member of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. Meet Mr. Sukanmi Olowo, representing Shegun Adaju. Thank you very much.
distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think we are extremely privileged to have these distinguished members of this panel here to share from the wealth of their knowledge with us. I would be following due protocol by allowing ladies first. I know in Nigeria it is ladies first after gentlemen, but I'm very pleased to be a female chairperson of this panel. So we're going to go for ladies first and ladies first before gentlemen. So I'm going to invite our very distinguished speaker, Dr. Franca, to share from the wealth of her knowledge in 10 minutes. before we go into Mr. Fatuke's presentation. So can we give her a resounding round of applause as she goes to the podium? Thank you very much.
Madam Chair and Moderator, distinguished panelists, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's been a very exciting morning for me. The topic of today, which is green, or what you call the green governance, is a new concept. I don't know how many of us seated here are conversant with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which today is known as Agenda 2030. Hello? Hello? Especially the women in the house. Can we listen attentively? Because in 10 minutes, I'm going to raise a few issues on green governance and genders. The first question I'm going to raise, all the speakers today, especially those who spoke in favor of green governance, they explained the meaning of green governance. The green governance is supposed to be environmental ecology. How do we take care of the environment to ensure that generations unborn continue to benefit from the environment? The last century, which was the 20th century, was a century of depletion. If you recall, in one of the statements that Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka made, he said their generation was a wasted generation. I will use the word depletion, not wasted, in the sense that what man did was to take the resources in the ground without making efforts to replace or replenish so that future generation will continue to benefit. And that is why we're having conflicts today. Today we have multiplicity of conflicts in Nigeria. We started with the Niger Delta militancy. It is as a result of man's inability to take into consideration ecology and renewable energy. That is why we had that problem. And currently, we are dealing with what? Herdsmen problem. And these are all issues of climate and then ecology. Once you take care of your ecology, you'll find that resources will become sustainable and then there will be inclusion. Now, the question I want to raise now, because I'm talking about women and children, that is what concerns me. One of the speakers made allusion to the fact that if you go green, in 2 years, we are going to create over 60 million jobs. Now, my question is, what is the place of women in green governance? I have read a number of literature on green governance, apart from one famous author in India, who is looking into how women can participate in the utilization of forest resources. There is nobody in the whole of Africa, talk less of Nigeria, who has actually raised the question. If we are talking about sustainable development, what is the place of the woman? For instance, how is the woman in the village going to benefit from the firewood in the forest? How is she going to ensure that on a continuous basis she will continue to have water to be able to take care of her family so that she'll be able to perform her roles and functions as a woman? These are the issues we'll be raising. Now, let's look at what the ILO is talking about. As we are standing today, women labor contribution as far as work and functions are concerned in the world is to the tune of 80%. And of this 80% contribution in the world of work, women have less than 20% as far as resources are concerned. Today in Nigeria, there are most places in Nigeria where women cannot have access to land, where women cannot inherit property. And yet, we are talking of green governance. Now, for those of us who are women who are sitting in this hall today, I think the issues we'll be raising is, how can women become partakers of a future paradigm shift as far as development is concerned. If women are going to be partakers, what, for instance, will be the role of the girl child in terms of management? Because when you're talking about sustainability, it's not only in terms of ecology. We are also going to think in terms of management of resources, in which case organizations are going to tell us how are they going to mainstream women so that women will also become participants as far as organization is concerned, as far as management is concerned. But today nobody is asking that question. All people are thinking about is that we should go green. Now, if we go green, which is the new concept in the 21st century, a number of countries have done it, like South Korea, for instance. They have an edge over most globalizers as far as green governance is concerned. Because green governance will enable us to create a number of jobs. Green governance, for instance, will enable us to utilize the creativity of the average individual. Now, my question is, does it mean that women are not imbued with creativity? Are women not endowed with intellect? If women are equally endowed with intellect, now, what is the role of the woman? And in this situation, I'll be asking those of you who are seated here, what is the role of the girl child in this new paradigm shift? What are you going to, how are you going to participate to ensure that when invariably green governance comes into effect full scale, that women will have their own pride of place, that women are not going to be marginalized the way they've been marginalized in the 20th century? Because today, women cannot tell us that they are fully mainstreamed into the ecology of the society. It's not possible. In terms of management of resources, women are not fully mainstreamed. We are still talking about mainstreaming gender. And yet, we are moving away gradually from what it used to be to a new paradigm. So if by 2030, it comes fully on stream, what is the role of the woman? And I can tell you from all the things I've read, Africa has not even started to participate in green governance. Because as of 2015, when the Agenda 2030 took effect, Africa was not even, as far as the last Millennium Development Goals was concerned, Africa did not fulfill its own obligations. In fact, Nigeria, yes, we have a desk in the presidency that is talking about Agenda 2020. But how have we sensitized the polity so that women will know that they are also stakeholders? And because they are stakeholders, they can prepare themselves educationally, vocationally, because the implication is that if you're going to be a partaker, you must either go to school or you learn a skill. And if you learn a skill, then you will now find how do you use your skill to ensure that you create wealth. A wealth that is not only inclusive, but a wealth that is sustainable. I will leave it here. You can prepare your questions, and then we begin to ask questions, and then we can throw more light, and then begin to interrogate those questions that we throw. And that will give us more enlightenment. Thank you very much.
Can we give Dr. Franca a resounding round of applause? And I hope the ladies in the house will give her a standing ovation and a round of applause, because she's really pushing the cause of women in green governance and women in green technology. Thank you very much, Dr. Franca. So I'll go to the next speaker, Mr. Akinfatuke, who has a PowerPoint presentation for us, and he will be enlightening us on green technology and green issues. Thank you very much, Mr. Fatuke. I hope the PowerPoint presentation is up.
Not on flash. Oh, okay. Coming up. Oh, okay. This is what we call, as at the time, I'm not sure it's coming up, but I actually have a 7-slide presentation, and I can assure you, and I think with the express permission, it's not coming up. The title is Green Jobs and Sustainable Lifestyle. If it's not coming up, please don't fret. Mrs. Akeredolu and my dear sister Stella have my express permission to send that across to everybody that is interested. So what I will just do, with the kind permission of the chair, discordant person, Madam Lola Amao, is to just speak a bit extempore. And to let you know, can we have some quiet? Please, let's have some quiet. Let's have some quiet. That is a great prayer for one of those moments where the town comes around amidst the gown. The town comes around amid the gowns. And I will just share with you, if you will, 3 practical examples of how this has happened in my career working in the downstream Mobil Oil Nigeria PLC. And by the way, I like to give kudos. When I saw Madam Rachel Idaewo sitting down here, my heart just leapt away. Mrs. Rachel Idaewo of the NYSC is a lady that is so close to our hearts. And she has done so much for the NYSC, and perhaps unknown to her, she need not know anyway, that she did great things that has benefited this school. How? If you came into my office while I was working in Mobile, you are going to see my office all green. And it is something that I picked up as a hobby, that I want my surroundings to be green. And I had come to Mrs. Idaewo for help to send to me
students, please. You are the youth of today. These people are here because of you. Please, let us maintain peace and tranquility so that you can enjoy this program, these talks. And at the end of the day, you'll be able to reflect and ask questions for your own goodness. Thank you.
Thank you. Now that I have the quiet. So, Mrs. Idaewo, she's sitting here. She assisted me with somebody we wanted to get on as a youth corper into Mobile. The young lady came into Mobile and she was sent to some other department. Unknown to me, as at the time I approached Mrs. Idaewo, the young lady was the daughter of one of our guards. She was the daughter of one of our security guards. You know, security guard that mounts the gate. As at that time, I didn't know. I approached Mrs. Idaewo. I didn't know Mrs. Idaewo was going to be here today, but that is by the way. But I'm going to tie it to green and sustainable development. The young lady came and was sent to some other department, like I said. Then the father now came to me and said, she knows that when youth corpers come into a multinational organization, yours sincerely happens to be one of those that gives some kind of all-round experience. Why? Because my network is such that I can go and meet all my other colleagues heading all the other departments because of my position and say, please, can she do a stint here for 3 months, do a stint here for 2 months, do a stint here for 6 months before the end of her tenure. So this young lady came and was in some other department. Then the father, because of what he has had, now approached me and said, please, Mr. Fatunke, we want this lady to work in your department. So no problem. She came in and I started observing her. Very neat, very decent, very organized. I will skip the rest and tell you that as I speak today, this daughter of a guard is today, through the humble recommendation of people like me, the personal assistant to the CEO of Mobil Oil Nigeria PLC. And I dare say, to Yaba College of Technology, this young lady has decided to pick another degree from your institution. I think she's, I don't know what to call the program. It's not the regular. It comes weekends and stuff like that. And she's doing her program right here. I can drop her name. Her name is Hannah Onyeka. What I'm trying to pass across to all of you is that you don't even know when you are being observed. You don't even know when your lifestyle is such that it's going to attract the best of the best that can ever happen to you. I dare conclude my story by saying the father of this lady and this lady could not believe the turn of events because under normal circumstances, that position that she's sitting on is a position where people with first degree, second degree, third degree will have had to apply for before they could. But I observed in her those soft skills of being able to pull herself and getting herself green. If you look at my presentation as you'll see it later, all the technical bits about green grass, emotion, you know, and all that, let's leave that aside. Let's go to practical. Because by the time you are going to be coming out of Yaba College of Technology, armed with all your degrees, there are certain things beyond those degrees that your employers are going to be looking at. One of them is this imprint that we are putting across today. Today is day 1304 since December 18, 2014, when the United Nations designated this day as Youth Skills Day. And in 1,304 days since that time, I can give you the statistics to tell you that more than 70% of you who have been coming out of institutions, great institutions like here, have remained unemployed. You have remained unemployed for reasons not due to you, but because of environmental and so many other factors. The jobs are just not there. The employers are not there to pick you up. So you've got to be able to do things with your hands. You've got to be able to observe. You've got to be able to get all the skills that Yaba College of Technology has taught you in terms of project management, in terms of being able to be accountable and record accountability, in terms of being able to be a part of a teamwork, in terms of paying attention to what happens